In the quest for productivity, many turn to YouTube gurus for their top tips and tricks. Figures like Ali Abdaal, Thomas Frank, Matt Davella, Alex Hormozi, and James Clear have amassed a following for their unique and effective productivity hacks. Their methods, ranging from time blocking to the 2-minute rule, offer a myriad of ways to enhance your productivity. This video will delve into these strategies and provide an overview of how they can help you achieve your productivity goals. Time blocking is a productivity method where you schedule specific time slots in your calendar for particular tasks.
This is basically where you block out a certain amount of time for a particular task or project, and ideally you stick it in the calendar, and so when that time comes around...
During these block times, you focus solely on the task at hand, minimizing distractions and enabling deep work.
The day I started using a calendar was the day that my productivity basically 2x'd overnight because I was now using a calendar. Because normally, I find for me, I don't know about you, but for me, when I have an empty gap on my calendar, at that point I think, oh, I could do all these different things. And I end up kind of paralyzed by the amount of different things I could be doing. Whereas when I have a slot in my calendar in which there is a defined task, at that point, I know what I should be doing in that time.
This method not only helps you manage your time efficiently, but also ensures that you are consciously dedicating time to important tasks.
It's not just me that swears by time blocking. People like Elon Musk and Bill Gates and author Cal Newport also use time blocking quite a lot, and
It aids in maintaining focus and achieving productivity goals without getting sidetracked by other tasks or distractions. Batching is another productivity hack where you group similar tasks together to perform them all at once.
Batching similar tasks together saves you time first by bundling the startup and the cleanup costs associated with each task. See, almost anything you do requires some kind of setup time, a startup cost. You have to get out the correct tools, you have to set up your workspace, sometimes you even have to get yourself the correct location in the first place.
This method minimizes the time lost in switching between different types of tasks. Batching can increase focus, efficiency, and productivity as your brain stays in the same frame of work for a longer period.
Remember that your environment is a huge factor in your ability to focus on your work. So if you can batch your tasks and get rid of the worst influencing factor on your ability to focus, all the better.
It's particularly useful for repetitive tasks like checking emails, doing laundry, or making phone calls. The to-do list is a classic productivity tool where you list out all the tasks you need to complete. This method provides a clear visual of what you need to accomplish and helps to organize your thoughts and workload.
So I typically like to keep my to-do list each day to around 3 to 5. I would say primary items, like the most important tasks for the day. But sometimes on a day like today, there's a bunch of small things that I need to do and I don't want to forget about them. And so that's why you'll see a list like this that's a little bit longer than normal.
Prioritizing these tasks can further enhance your productivity by ensuring that important tasks are not overlooked. The satisfaction of crossing off completed tasks also provides a sense of accomplishment and progress. Alex Hormozi's philosophy of work revolves around the idea that one shouldn't wait for motivation to start working. Instead, he believes in taking action and starting work regardless of one's level of motivation.
For everything else that you do in work, because the thing is, when you start working, you start getting in the mood to work, right? Like everything else is procrastinating around the work that you think you should do.
Hormozi argues that often, the mere act of starting can generate the motivation needed to continue. This proactive approach encourages consistent productivity and helps overcome procrastination. James Clear's 2-minute rule is a simple yet effective productivity strategy. The principle is that if a task takes 2 minutes or less to complete, you should do it immediately rather than postponing it.
I like to talk about the 2-minute rule, and the idea here is that you want to downscale your habit until it only takes 2 minutes to do. So for example, going for a run might be downscaled into just tying your running shoes, or folding laundry is downscaled into fold the first pair of socks, or
start it is the point.
The idea is that we often
like
optimize for the result, but instead we should optimize for the starting line, not the finish line.
This method not only helps in accomplishing small tasks promptly, but also kickstarts larger tasks by breaking them down into manageable 2-minute actions. Over time, this can lead to significant productivity gains and the development of positive habits.